You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
We absolutely adore this man. He's got a brand new show. I'm really looking forward to this. Kitchen Nightmares Australia premieres 7:30 next Wednesday on Channel 7. It's Colin Farrell.
He's back. He's back.
Okay, can I read out a headline here from Daily Mail?
Daily Mail. Well, read away.
Move over. Gordon Ramsay. Colin Fasnage says the F word 53 times in new series Kitchen Nightmares
And that was
Australia.
just at home, was it, before you got to work?
That was just fascinating, I was saying.
Was it?
How good is
Oh, that's the F word. This is going to be awesome, and we understand that you go in and you look at the service, you look at the food, and you help these people out. How hard do you go? Did you feel guilty at all through the series?
Well, look. Yes, I did. There's one app, like you do go hard. The first one I went extremely hard.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I've got to do this every week.
Yeah, that's
Because it comes good by the end.
Yeah.
And then you're like, the night before I go in, I was actually like, you're in your room in the dodgiest motel in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right next to Ivan Milat or whatever. And Dahmer's next door chopping up bodies. And you're like, so you're getting ready for the next day. And you get nervous. But then you go in game face. It's like game day.
Of course.
And there was one I left after the first night, and I was like, oh my God, they're broken.
What was it that tipped you? Was the person quite distressed?
Well, when the person's on the floor in tears.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
And you stepped over her body
Well,
to
I
get
had to
out?
step over to get me gin and tonic. Like she's in the way. It's like a roundabout.
Down.
So I felt, but not everyone comes out as good. Put it that way.
Right.
That's how good.
Because not everyone is good.
Exactly. It's a lot like life, Whipper.
Yeah. There's some stinkers out there, mate.
But hang on, you can't leave a venue without having made it better, can you?
I can do what I want. It's my
You
show.
can't. That's the whole premise.
No.
Like, you have to make it good.
Not everyone comes on board with you. Some people
Right.
think, this guy, like what happens is when you go in, it's quite funny actually, because when you go in and Fasnage gets into his speed, right?
Yeah.
You can see people's eyes checking out. They're like, "Oh my God,
We
like
can't keep
what
up.
have we done?
Oh, right,
Like,
yes.
How do we get out of this?" And you're like, "Well, it's too late now because we've parked the truck."
Yeah, and you do renos on the place. You do it up. You make it look sparkly. You tell them what they need to change in the kitchen. But what are you telling us that some of these people aren't prepared to do what you tell them?
There was one where day 2, we're like, "Let's go. Let's just go. Let's pack up."
There's no
They're
point.
not
Really?
listening. What, they're
Yeah.
not listening?
They just don't want to know,
Yes.
or they want to do a PR stunt. They think it was a great way to get the business on TV, and they just fighting you. And you're like, "Do you know what? There's people who actually need help because it's an Australian story when you think of it. Like I own restaurants.
Yes.
We've been through fires, we've been through floods, we've been through COVID. So it's not a show where we're just demeaning people for TV.
Yeah.
We're going in. And you actually feel sorry. A lot of these people are 300 grand in the hole.
Yeah.
One guy sold his car to pay the wages while we were there.
Wow.
And I'm like,
That's deep.
you want people to do it's not.
Could you save them?
You'll have to wait and find out.
Oh, I hope so.
Tune in after the break.
Can we talk about Gordon Ramsay? Because, I mean, this was Gordon Kitchen Nightmares, unbelievable. But you actually worked with Gordon in the kitchen. So was he like that in the kitchen as well? Like, is he that full on when it's pressure time?
I worked like with Ramsay, Raymond Blanc. Ramsay was at one of his side restaurants. He was a good businessman.
Who was the most intense that you worked with?
Marco Pierre White.
No, I know Marco. I always wanted to work with. I worked with Raymond Blanc. I had when I'd come in late, which happened a few times, right?
Oh, yeah.
Bit like interviews on this
There's
show.
40 chefs in the kitchen, in this kitchen, right?
40 chefs?
in Le Mans War, right? And I'd come in late, so I didn't have a shave. And they would have the pigs. When the pigs come in, the whole pigs, they would shave them with an old Bic razor, right, to get the hair off.
Yeah.
And it was like a rusty old Bic razor. And they would make me stand in the kitchen and shave with this razor. And it would take like lumps off your chin. And
That's so dirty.
So you were the pig.
I was the pig.
Lily and Maeve, have they got any cooking skills? Do they want to get into the kitchen, the girls?
They're apparently I'm cringe now. I was in the supermarket. And some woman goes, "Oh, can I get a photo?" I'm like, "Yeah, not a problem." Because I'm like, the fast is on point today. Looks good.
Yeah, here he is.
And then she gives the camera to me, and she's like, "Lily and Maeve, get in." Oh. And I'm like, "Oh."
kick in the
down.
pants.
Knock down.
Not fair, is it?
Okay, well, she's not rapping today. You are, and you're hopeless. You've already done this before.
I did it with what's it, Menu, and
Menu.
we were bad, man. People I met in the street after were like, "You're bad, like you're cringe."
And that's why we've got you back, mate. Let's do it again. Wrap up of the week.
And Fitzy. Friday.
How much that whip away? Escalator on the buffet.
So, Faz, you get to choose this morning whether you want to rap first or do you want me to rap first?
Well, in this cringe fest, I think I'll go first.
Alrighty,
Good
he's a
on you,
brave
Faz.
man.
Take your time, mate. Take your time. You'll get through this.
Serve up the crackling, big guy.
Come on, Faz. Here we go. Ready?
You speak on radio, that is true. Your jokes are harder to understand than Manu. If this was a restaurant, it wouldn't go far, because you know what? You barely got 1 star. Colin's here. I am trolling. I'm like that nasty pain and whippers, Colin. Every morning, Fitzy wakes the city with his ex-career football pity. He looks like an old leather shoe. I've seen more buddy in a bleeding lamb stew. Whopper does martial arts a lot. If you class push-ups in a Macca's car spot. Every day the show's in strife. You know what? I think it needs a bit more fastenage life. You're rude about me, make no mistake, but that's coming from a skinny and a fat fake. So farewell, boys, for the pushing and shoving. But guess what? Your missus would rather cook in my oven.
You can't rap, and you're highly offensive. Congratulations.
I bloody loved it.
He's gone rogue. Yes.
That was perfect.
All right, here we go.
right,
Let's do this. Come on. Here's my Irish rap. Here we go. Fire up, everyone. Colin, you old dog, get up and get out. I'm going to hit you harder than an Irish stout. Fasnich Fitzgerald, the Irish hood. This will be harder to watch than my left foot. You're back for a rap. What's wrong with you? Stick to what you're good at, mate. An Irish stew. You do cook a beautiful pig on the spit. You keen for another? What are you up to, Whip? What happened this year on My Kitchen Rules? More ups than a festival by Ja Rule. You, Manu, Curtis and Nigella getting served up plates of salmonella. Does Gordon Ramsay know that you have arrived? His telly show, you've plagiarised. Rock up to a restaurant, that is shit. Quiet on the set, Colin, now throw a fit. We do love you, Cole, you massive creep. Best times we've had is when you're fast asleep. You've been around longer than the dinosaurs. Mate, have you got the number of anyone in the cause? Have you ever met the cause?
Did you met the cause? Did you cook for them?
At establishment years ago, and she is hot.
Yeah.
She was smoking hot.
Were there 2 of them?
I went
There
there 4 of them.
but you don't
Yeah.
count the brother.
3 sisters and the brother, yeah?
Yeah, so you had to cook?
They got mangled, right?
Yeah.
They were drinking Frangelico.
Yeah.
And they were asleep by dessert.
Oh, you cooked them.
Wow.
Sarah, this is a tough
Yeah, it is. It's a bit of a thinker. Give me a minute.
bit of a stinker.
Do you know what? Because I love him, it's got to be Colin. Oh, come on, he didn't want to do it, and he did it because he loves this show.
Exactly.
Gave away your pregnancy. You should have given
Well, no,
it to
I
me.
wasn't pregnant when he said it.
Oh, no, you were.
You
didn't
were.
say anything.
Well, I barely knew, so let's not go down that road.
You can catch Faz, Kitchen Nightmares Australia. Don't forget, 7:30 next Wednesday on Channel 7. Thanks for coming in, Faz.
Thanks, guys.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.